What's up, Team Buckhouse? Johnathan Buckhouse here, and in today's video we are going to compare the Burton Step-on bindings versus the CLEW bindings. Now I know what you guys are thinking, like, I know what the Burton Step-ons are, the binding that kind of took over the internet. Everyone is like trying to get Burton Step-ons and they think they're super sick, but what's a CLEW? So real quick, we'll jump into what the CLEW bindings are, and then we're going to compare them versus the Burton Step-on. So from first glance, the CLEW looks like a traditional binding with straps and everything, but then out of nowhere you pull the red ejector cord, then your high back and heel strap detach from the binding, allowing you to easily step out, but as easily step back into the binding. So this heel cup piece will remain on your foot while you detach from the CLEWs. Unlike with the Burton boot, all of the attachments are built into your boot. Now before I jump into the tech of everything, let's just go over performance. Now I rode both of these bindings today and they both absolutely rip the mountain. I took the bindings into the park. I took them into the runs. We were just ripping around, having a good time on both pairs. And I gotta say, response is not an issue you're gonna have with these bindings. Both are very responsive bindings. Both are stiff bindings. Both are gonna absolutely rip turns for you. However, the only issue I had with riding the mountain and having response and everything was I wasn't able to get a pair of Burton boots that fit my feet. These were a size big, so I did have some boot play in there, which kind of hurt my confidence riding around the mountain because I had a little bit of play inside the boot. Which leads me to one of my first cons to the Burton Step-ons is you don't have straps, and where sometimes when you get boot play, every boot has some play, you're able to overcompensate for that with your straps. Extra strap down, kind of make sure when you go on that toe side edge, when your foot lifts up, it hits the strap and then you're not going to get much play. Where with the Step-ons, there is no straps, so when I would go into initiate a toe side edge, my foot would lift a little bit and I didn't have that extra strap down to keep me from having some play inside the boot. I know a lot of people's cons with the Step-ons is the fact that there are no straps, and it is a little weird not having the straps. I would say it's still responsive despite them, but it's, to me, once again, it's that inability to really lock your foot down in with the strap option. Now that is one of the perks to the CLEWs is you still have straps, so not only does it not look weird or feel weird, so you can overcompensate for having loose boots. As for the clicking in and out option, I do think that the CLEWs are a more fluid way to click into the binding. One, you're stepping forward into the binding, which is very normal human motion, is to step forward into something. Where with the Burton Step-ons, you need to step backwards because your little hook is here in the back. So you need to step back to lock in. And then once you lock in, you have 3 points to click in. So you're gonna lock in, click your left side toe and your right side toe. So you gotta like click in, clink, clink. Where with the CLEWs, it's a forward step in and then clock back. I'm also able to like leave my toe strap completely like tighten and still get in and lock in and not even have to mess with my toe strap. Now I did do the jump test where you try to jump into your snowboard with each Step-on version. I was actually able to get it with the CLEWs, which was really sick. but I was not able to jump in and click into the step-on with the Burton step-ons. I don't know how much that matters to you, but it's kind of cool when you can do it. So one of the biggest deals and one of the biggest things that I've had an issue with demoing the Burton step-ons is you have to ride Burton's boots. The CLEWs, you can wear any boot out there. So I have a really weird thing where I have tiny, tiny little baby feet. So I wear size 7 women's boots. So I can rock those tiny boots here in the CLEWs, where when I go out to demo the Burton step-on, I can't get a boot to properly fit my foot. Now, there are a lot more options now for boots out there. I know DC's making them, but the inability to wear the perfect boot for your foot, like I literally have the perfect boot that fits my foot, and it's not a Burton boot. And so in order to ride the step-ons, I have to get the Burton step-on boot to ride it, and that's kind of a pain in the butt because once again, I can ride any boot with these bindings, which is kind of a game changer. Now, once again, how the step-ons work is you have a 3 contact point. You're mainly going to contact back here in your high back. I have seen issues where someone's pants get stuck in that mechanism right there, and then they can't get their foot out, or they didn't properly get locked in because their pants were in the way. That's why when I rode today, I kept my pants completely rolled up. But there is this little clip back here on the back of the boots to help with that. So you want to make sure that you put your pants into that clip so that doesn't happen. But it is possible, it can happen. And that's why your toe side turn is so responsive, because you're locked into your high back, and no other binding out there locks you into your high back like the Burton step-ons do, which is really cool. The other 2 points of contact are here in the front, these little click-in spots right here. This is the older model. The newer versions have a nicer like click-in front area that doesn't make the clicking noise and everything like that. But I feel like when I'm ejecting out, which you use with this tiny little lever right here, and I was actually shocked at how small the release lever is, but you pull this little tiny lever, releases your heel, and then you gotta kind of twist your foot to get out of the step-on, which is, it takes a while to get used to. The first time I rode these bindings, I struggled with it hardcore. Today, because I've done it before, it wasn't that bad. So you do get used to it, but yeah, so you gotta pull this tiny lever, your foot releases, and you can twist out. That's how the step-ons work. Now with the CLEW, you fully strap your foot in. You have all of the traditional binding adjustment options, like on the bottom you can move your toe straps forward, you can move the whole base plate forward if you have a bigger foot, you can adjust your straps, and like all traditional bindings. It also has the traditional back forward lean right here if you want that. And once again, this is your ejector seat right here. You pull this lever, it's nice and big, it's easy to grab onto. You can literally grab it while you're riding, rip it, pull yourself out. So if you pull yourself out, so if you look closely, you have these hooks right here, and these hooks are what hook you into the bindings. Each binding has a 2-lock system, so you can click in once and then click in twice. You want to be clicked in twice, but the 2-lock system is there for security. I have always gotten to at least the first lock. Now when you are one locked in, there is some play and it feels weird. You definitely want to get to the second lock, and so you can kind of like bust a little like tail press or add some pressure to that foot to get that second lock in. The nice thing with the CLEWs is they have a built-in little gap right here for snow. So like a lot of people with the step-ons and with normal bindings, they have issues because snow builds up. Let's say you had to unstrap and powder to kind of get out of something, you want to strap back in. Well, there's this nice little snow barrier right here, which is going to allow you to get fully clicked in. Sometimes I have had to clear out that channel because it gets filled up or the snow's super cakey, but for the most part, you're always able to click in. You got that little build-up or like little space right there for any build-up that you're going to be able to lock in. I did try to strap into the Burton step-ons with a bunch of snow and everything, and it didn't lock in the front. I could always get the heel, but to get those front prongs locked in if there was a bunch of snow in there, it was really tough. I feel like that's kind of a stupid thing to compare or think about, because everybody always cleans out the inside of their bindings if you're going to step into them. I would say both pairs of bindings are going to allow you to click in if there's like a little bit of snow buildup. I would say my biggest con with the CLEWs is the 2 click-in system. One, it's really nice to always be clicked in, so when you get the first click, at least you're clicked in. But that play, I can really feel it, and sometimes I can just not get my foot clicked in. And I was like hiking in my backyard park, and that was one of the things I was having the biggest issue with, was getting that second click. And once I get fully clicked in, then the bindings feel really great. If I'm not I'm only one click in. Let's see if I can get it. If you only get one clicked in, you can tell by this red ring right here. But then the play of the binding is just a little gnarly. But once you get that second click in, you're definitely in there. Other than that, with the CLEWs, that's the only issue I have. Once again, it's not that it's a bad thing, because you're still locked in. It's just an uncomfortable thing, and sometimes just getting that second click can be a little bit of an effort. Now price, the CLEWs come in at $500, which is definitely up there for a pair of bindings. Most bindings come in around $300 to $400, so the CLEWs are going to be on the higher end for a binding cost. But the Burton Step-ons, this piece alone costs about $300, and your boots are looking on $400. They do have packages around $650, and since the Step-ons have been around for a while, they now have more options for boots, more options for the Step-ons, and more options for the packages and everything like that. So I can't give you specific prices on it, but the CLEWs once again come in at $500, and you're looking around for the whole boot binding combo like $650 if you go that route. If you go individually, like your own specific boot and then your own specific binding, you're kind of in the $700-800 range for the Burtons. But once again, one of the nice things with the CLEWs is you're just able to use them as a traditional binding and unstrap normally. I will say one of the nice things about the CLEWs is it's a German built product, so the quality of this was like one of the first things I noticed out of box. I was like, wow, these are super sick. But with quality and straps comes a little bit of a weight increase, so these bindings are going to be heavier than your Burton Step-ons. Both bindings come with like a weird wow factor, because when you're strapped in, people are like, whoa, you don't have any straps with the Step-ons. And then with the CLEWs, when you're kicking through the maze, you have a high back attached to your foot. And people are like, what's up with that? One of the nice things too though is when you're walking around with the CLEWs and you're fully unhooked, like going into a gondola or something, your snowboard's super light because it no longer has any bindings attached to it. Also, accessing your bindings to work on is nice because you just pull the CLEW binding, like heel strap up. Also, working on your bindings is super nice because you just pull your high back out and then you have all this space to work on, where with the Burton Step-ons, you're working around your high back, setting up your angles and everything like that. Now before I tell you which binding to buy, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. I don't normally do gear review videos like this, but when I do, one, we actually ride the gear, but two, it's probably something you guys are asking for or want to see, and that's why I'm making this one. Also, full disclosure, CLEW did sign me these bindings. I did have to rent the Burton Step-ons, but this is a true, honest review because I want you guys to ride product that you're gonna like. Now, Burton versus CLEW, which ones do I prefer? And I'm honestly gonna lean toward the CLEWs. I like these a lot. The bindings are sick. I like that from day one, I was able to strap into these and start ripping. Ripping park, ripping turns, everything. It's fun. It's a super simple system. It wasn't rocket science to figure out. Day one, I was able to click in and click out real quick. I was doing it while I was snowboarding. Where with the Burton Step-ons, I believe there is a learning curve to them. It does take a while to figure out the twisting your foot out. It does take a while to get used to stepping backwards into your bindings. There is a little bit of a learning curve with these. Literally, there's so many pros and cons to both bindings. They're both awesome. They both rip. Personally, not the boot factor, like not being able to have any boot that you want in the Step-ons, as well as the rear entry and not having straps, are why I lean more towards the CLEWs. They're like a hybrid binding. Now, once again, don't walk into the bathroom with these like unstrapped normally to go inside buildings and things, but for on mountain, dealing with my son, hiking the park, these things are so sick, so awesome, and I highly recommend the CLEWs, but I'm also not recommending the Burton Step-ons. Hopefully this video showed you the pros and cons of both bindings, and honestly, get which one that's gonna work for you, you know? Because not everything works for everyone. That's why there's so many options out there. But for me, I'll be rocking the CLEWs. They'll be linked in the description with an affiliate link. Same thing as the Burton Step-ons, guys. They'll be linked below. But with that, guys, these are just my thoughts on the CLEWs and the Step-ons. Let me know with yours down below. Have you rode the Step-ons? Have you rode the CLEWs? Give me your opinions in the comments down below. Let's have a conversation. Let's get people on the right gear for them, which is super awesome. Once again, I'm Johnathan Buckhouse. This is my YouTube channel. You can snag a sticker to support the dream. Also subscribe, and with that, as always, guys, thanks for shredding with us today, reviewing product with us today, and as always, thanks for watching. Keep evolving. We'll see you guys tomorrow with another video.